And welcome YouTube viewers. We've got an X-Class solar flare to cover. We've got the Smash News Network lettering continuing on in our fantastic spring pastel colors. Let's take a look at the closest star, as we're wont to do regularly on the channel. That X-Class flare happened just before 1400 Universal Time yesterday on 5/10/2022. There is the closest star in 94 angstroms ionized iron. We've got some new sunspot groups to cover as well, coronal holes, and more. An incredibly low solar wind speed. Let's take a look at the geospace around planet Earth. That is the last 4 hours of magnetohydrodynamic pressure. The scale is, the units are nanopascals that are modeled in the Space Weather Modeling Framework model of Earth's geospace magnetosphere movie. That's the geospace out to about 12 Earth diameters. Again, a very slow solar wind, but there is some density there, causing the pressure to be, well, some pressure. It's pretty nominal though, and pretty at a point of rather equilibrium. It's sort of at a point of equilibrium. So here's the ground magnetic perturbations map. The units on this are nanotesla magnetic flux density. Like the last video, it is the last 4 hours. We do actually see some magnetic perturbations here, despite the plasma environment in space being quite homogeneous at the moment, at least for the past 4 hours. Planetary K-index is at 1 for the past 18 hours there. Planetary K-index, a measurement of global geomagnetism. And let's take a look at the real-time solar wind, which again, I think it's the lowest we've ever covered on the channel. Check it out, 267 kilometers per second for the solar wind speed. Solar wind density a little bit elevated here at just over 10 protons per cubic centimeter. That's enough to keep some pressure going in the Earth geospace. 267 kilometers per second. Talk about a slow solar wind. I'm pretty sure that's the slowest we've ever covered in about 5 years, including starting right around solar minimum. Next, the GOES magnetometer, pretty smooth here over the past 3 days. We can expect some big striations in that in about 4 days, as there is a coronal hole high-speed stream likely on the way. We'll talk more about that in a moment. First, the heliospheric current sheet. Earth is in a North Pole oriented current sheet. Yeah, the solar plasma. It's oriented to one pole or the other, and the sheet of plasma in which the Earth currently resides is in a North Pole oriented current sheet. There it is in green. Here's the South Pole current sheet in red. No frills there. Line of sight ecliptic plane field plot. Is there a South Pole current sheet headed this way? Well, I don't think so, but we do have some activity in the northern hemisphere. Some new sunspots up there about to get named. Next, coronal holes. Here is your coronal hole line of sight plot. This plot also shows the Sunspots field in blue. And you can see those rather well-defined coronal holes rotating in here from the east. Let's go to the 193 angstroms view next. So here's 193 angstroms, and you can see those rather well-defined coronal holes in the northeast. They are transequatorial. They're going to appear to grow over the next day or two as they move right into the Earth-facing zone. They will send a high-speed solar wind toward the planet. We can expect to see that in about a little over 4 days, I would say. Again, there was an X-Class flare as well. It came out of, I believe, that's Sunspot 3006. And let's move on to sunspots. So we've got some new groups in the northern hemisphere. This is certainly going to be named a sunspot. That'll be 3008, I believe. 3006 is the group, the Beta Gamma Delta group, from which the X-Class solar flare emerged yesterday. We streamed it live to Twitch at twitch.tv/smashomash. Thanks to everybody who tuned in over there. Likelihood of major flares still rather high here, as Sunspot 3007 is also quite complex. Both of these sunspots, and even this sunspot up here, is capable of producing some flares. Let's take a look at some more action here. Here's 1700 angstroms. Again, there is certainly a sunspot right here. Make sure you tune into our bonus features segment. That will be on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/smashomash. And more about where to find our content in a moment. First, you're invited to join us on Twitter. Yeah, twitter.com/smashomash. Thanks to our new followers over there. You can find links to the Smash Team page. And there is our complimentary merch, by the way. If you join the Smash Team at a gold annual subscription paid up member, you'll get complimentary merch if you respond to our email about it. So it's the best value. It's a whole year of gold membership with complimentary merch. Today's featured item is Mansa. Are you still walking around in public with a mask on your face? Here's a little tidbit. You look sickly, and if you're sick, please stay home. That's all. I don't think it's controversial to say that at all. But in any case, Mansa, Make America Not Suck Again. America leads the way in so many things. Whether you like the U.S. or not, it's the economic powerhouse of the planet. Deal with it. Yeah, there might be inflation to the U.S. dollar, not as much as with the yen, or the euro, or the yuan, or other major world fiat currencies. Yeah, there's inflation going on. It's just less than other world currencies. So deal with it. If you're going through hell, keep going. And I'm citing personal responsibility here with this. So the reason we say Mansa, Make America Not Suck Again, is because it's up to you. It's completely apolitical. It is up to personal responsibility, folks. It is up to you to make America not suck again. Lead the way for the rest of the world. Start a conversation about making America not suck again with some of this bold merch with our lovely red, white, blue gradient lettering. We the people are in charge of making America not suck again. America is in charge of making the world not suck again. So thanks to everybody out there who's doing your part. Help us out with some merch. Give Smash staff a raise with some merch. We're also on BitChute, thanks to our subscribers over there. We've been primarily putting up our meteorology segments on BitChute, although yesterday we put up a space weather video as a bonus. Again, twitch.tv/smashomash is where we stream live the most, although we do stream on the YouTube as well. On occasion, we did it on Mother's Day. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. Your mom can forecast the weather. And our Gold and Silver Smash Team members can probably forecast the weather also, so consider joining the Smash Team at the Gold or Silver paid up. The Gold paid up annual subscription, or the Gold subscription level, that's a monthly subscription, or the Silver, also a monthly subscription. We're also still on Patreon. Welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Please visit our homepage at smashomash.com. Share our content on your favorite social media site. We're all over the internet. Welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Give Smash staff a raise by open up your cobweb-encrusted wallet and sending us a couple bucks per month to help ensure that these videos will continue to exist and that the Smash News Network will continue to put out compelling content. Thanks to everybody who supported the channel over the past 5+ years. Yesterday's X-ray flare didn't produce any spikes in the proton flux. No relativistic particles were hurled at Earth at nearly the speed of light. There's our X1 point, I believe it was a 1.5. It looks like it's a 1.5. X1.5 class flare that happened yesterday. Peak flux was around 1350 universal time, and we've paused it here in the 131 angstroms wavelength. We slowed it down so we can show it to you here in some exquisite detail. There's your XClass solar flare in 131 angstroms ionized iron from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. There were a series of coronal mass ejections also. We'll analyze those as well. So we don't want to spend too much time on this. Let's move on to a star chart. There's what's going on above my head in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. If you want to make your own star chart, head to in-the-sky.org and click All Sky Charts. After putting in your zip code, it'll show you what's going on above your head. Where were you when Cygnus rose? Deneb. Let us know what you know about Deneb. If you haven't read about it, head to smashomash.com/forum. In the cosmology segment, there's a whole forum thread just about that one star. It's quite interesting indeed. and ancient cultures would tend to agree. Next, a solar system forecast. Here's the current state of affairs. Here's where things will be in a week. On the 18th, we'll have a gibbous waning moon. As all the planets move to one side of the sun, people will be frightened about that for some reason, and they'll put up YouTube videos that are utterly ridiculous about it. They'll probably have hundreds of thousands of views, and they'll retire early because of putting up propagandistic nonsense on the, quote, platform, end quote. Next, looking at coronagraphs. Here's some coronagraphs from L5, Stereo A, and L1, the Soho Lasco C3. Now, I've paused this around 1438, just after the XClass Flare, and it looks like there may be some ejecta headed toward Earth. You can see that ejecta right there. For you new viewers, Earth would be off in this direction from the perspective of Stereo A, and behind you from the perspective of the Soho Lasco C3. Some of this ejecta is, I believe, earthly directed. So we can expect a coronal mass ejection strike in about 3 days. It's pretty diffuse plasma, so I don't think it's going to be a major impact. It could cause brief periods of geomagnetic unrest and geomagnetic storm. I'd say a KP5 style event, maybe, something like that. But it certainly looks like it's headed right down the earthly pipeline. Only a bit of plasma, but when we have such a slow solar wind speed like we have now, it could produce a rather significant signal. And there's another CME that's actually just recently happened, and it is gigantic. It's on the opposite side of the sun, though. So if anybody tells you that this one is a halo ejection, you can clearly see here that it is not. It is on the far side of the sun. But a spectacular and gigantic CME there, still propagating as we make the video. And that's about where it's time to close things out. Thanks for tuning into the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. May that solar wind be at your back. Again, visit our links, and we'll see you soon. Opinions expressed in this video, not necessarily the opinions of Smash News Network, least busted name in news.